Olga is an autism mama, an educator and a coach. She's a mother of 4 daughters, 2 of which, her youngest, are neurodevelopmental conditions, one of which is autism, the other one has ADHD. She founded a specialised Ofsted childcare provision, so that's UK government regulated. And this was back in 2008, and it was for children with autism and speech delay predominantly. She then trained with Coaching Academy and several other international institutions and coaching providers so that she could begin her journey of mentoring parents and youth with autism to help them develop healthy lifestyles, social communication, emotional, transitioning life skills. She's a qualified assessor using PAGS, and TEACH is advanced profiling technologies to identify neurodiversity specific skill set gaps and developmental priorities. She is the founder of Puzzle Tree Academy, and she is absolutely passionate about helping parents create the best possible outcomes for their children while living fulfilling lives at the same time. Olga will shortly give you a more detailed description of her personal journey with autism and why it has brought her to where she is today. We then have Irina. Irina is a nutritional neuroscientist with a PhD from Cambridge University in the UK. She's a certified nutritional therapist with over 20 years experience in science and healthcare providing services. She founded Live Right, her organization. It's an initiative which helps individuals with nutrition and wellbeing strategies. And she does this through personalized coaching in nutrition. She helps families to achieve the optimal balance between diet, health, and life by building an educational platform around healthy eating habits and allowing us to restore our relationship between people and food. She focuses predominantly on children with ASD, autism, and related neurological conditions, and she helps families to detoxify, to nourish, and to reset a whole body biochemical balance. And she does this by addressing the connection between the gut and the brain. Together, they deliver a science-based approach, and it's married up with years of practical application and experience so that children and their parents can experience real-life sustainable results and they can begin to flourish. You're going to understand the order in which to do things and when to do what and what to prioritize. You're going to learn how to identify and resolve root causes of neurological imbalances. You are also going to learn how to prioritize the right interventions at the right time. You will learn how to replace overwhelm, both for you and your child within the family setting. You will learn how to establish sustainable changes so that your whole family thrives. And you will have immediate practical tools to implement at the end of this class. What are the expected outcomes of our inspired actions from today? We aim to dramatically reduce, if not completely stop, meltdowns. Your child will have better sleep with at least 6 or more hours at night time. You will have better engagement with your child, more effective communication. You'll be able to make plans again, to socialize, to go back into the community with ease rather than fear. You'll be able to support your child to learn and develop their language skills. You'll learn what causes picky eating and how you can expand this tiny range of food eaten. You will learn how to stop and significantly reduce challenging antisocial behavior. You'll be able to teach your child to socialize and to communicate. And ultimately, you will be able to create a sensible, possible action plan, which will support you through the various stages. So that's a lot that you're going to be learning and taking away today. Those outcomes are extremely achievable. They can and will happen for you. But it does take implementation, it does take consistency, and it does take dedication.
If you can, switch off your phone, switch off notifications so you can fully get immersed into this training. So switch off distractions and make notes, make lots of notes, pick at least one thing that you're going to implement today, not tomorrow, not after tomorrow, at least one thing that you going to implement and start doing it today. You're going to see how this going to get you into a place of action, and it's going to be easy to implement all the other points that you're going to select through the masterclass. I would like to share with you my personal why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm doing these trainings, why I'm organized with Irina Shurova Association for Parents of Children with Neurodiversity and Parents and Professionals. Said I'm autism mama. I have 4 daughters, and their ages right now between 23 and 16, soon 17. And out of 4 daughters, I have 2 daughters with neurodiversity. And my first encounter with neurodiversity or autism was when my daughter number 3, Michelle, here now she's on a photo in Chinatown, down on the right. She's 19 now, but when she was about 2.5 or 3, suddenly her development sort of regressed. She stopped communicating. She lost eye contact. She was just rocking in the chair, salivating, screaming, banging, not eating, not sleeping. And I couldn't get through. I couldn't understand what's going on with my child. All of us, we couldn't sleep. My partner as well couldn't cope with the intensity of what's going on. The nannies that I had, because I was running a chain of delicatessen shops as well, they couldn't cope. They couldn't understand how to even feed her. And it became quite intense. So my partner at the time, he left, and I was trying to look for answers and obviously getting to doctors, and we were checking ears and all other things until I got the diagnosis that your child has autism. And as well, I never heard about autism before, but it was quite, as I said, quite intense. And as well, during that time, I had my other daughter, number 4, and anything what I was going through wasn't helping. So we're going to occupational therapists, speech and language therapists. I started to learn Makaton signing to help her talk, and there was no obvious result. We still had meltdowns after meltdowns. We still had sleepless nights. We still, instead of communicating, she was just pulling and screaming and pointing. And obviously all of us, when we're going under a lot of stress. And then when doctor said she has autism, he said, look, we don't know what's causing autism. We know that it's nothing really can help. So you just need to come to a terms that it's going to be like that. And I was told as well that I better move only to English using at home, because we were trilingual family, so we were speaking 3 languages at home, and they said it's going to be too much for this child. Maybe she's never going to speak any language, so you better narrow to at least 1 language. And now my daughter Michelle, she's 19. She's talking fluently and speaking and writing and reading in 2 languages, and she can understand and simply answer in 3rd language. She's attending college. She's brilliant young woman. Her meltdowns are, I would say, not existent. She's still sensitive, and she still has some challenges in processing. So it takes a bit longer for her to process communication. But generally, I'm really happy with her progress, and I learned everything through my ups and downs, through lots of learning and collaborating with other professionals. And I know what helps and I know what doesn't. And as well, I learned that very often professionals focusing on problem, on a challenge, and there is some underlying problems. When you're focusing on the problem, for example, speech delay or meltdowns, then it's almost like applying plaster or giving paracetamol. It's not going to help, it's not going to resolve problems, but you need to dig deeper. And that's exactly why I set up Puzzle Tree Academy, is to dig deeper into the roots of that tree, where our children well-being coming from. And that's how I came across, and I realized that there is a pattern, and it's not only my own pattern, there is pattern of success for other parents and as well for other children with autism. And that's exactly what I want to share with you, this pattern. And I would like to invite Irina to introduce herself and her story, why she's doing what she's doing.
I think it is important that you understand that we're all human beings. We're not just telling you whatever we haven't been felt, we haven't been through, we haven't reflected, analyzed it. It's really coming from our heart and our gut. And the gut is a big word for me. You will understand later why, because that's my area of expertise. But first of all, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, and I'm a scientist. And that helps me to do what I'm doing and putting together with Olga lots of tools we would like to share with you today. So my story is, I don't have a neurodiverse children, but because I think I put some measures early on, because I always wanted to be a pediatrician, but I became a scientist, c'est la vie. So, but all my life I was getting to the point how I can help kids and people in general. When I worked in academia, when I worked in pharmaceutical company, nutraceutical company, functional genomics, I always was looking for practical solution, how we can bring science now in real tools, and we can help people, especially kids who can't share their pain and their issues with us. And we sometimes just don't understand what is the best way to support them. So but it's all was great. I was collecting the information on conferences and talking to other people and everything. But when my youngest was born, you can see here, Veronica, she at 18 months old, she was covered with a huge eczema. It was like a, like a covering, it's a bleeding skin. It was really horrible to look at. And nothing was like that before in family. Again, it was came by surprise. And when I was writing and asking the questions, no doctors could really help. They just said, try this cream, try this cream, try this cream. And I said, well, you know what, my child is not guinea pig. I'm going to explore by myself. And this is when I brought all my scientific ability to understand the science and actually related to real issues. So when I started to understand what that can cause this horrible eczema, and she will start to develop some kind of emotional challenges, but she was still very young at that age. But I could see how it could cause to neurodiversity, neurological conditions later on. She had issues with the digestion. She had a huge issue with the skin. She had some sensitivities, allergies, and etc. And that's what I really addressed through my understanding how the body is functioning and what we need to do. So help my child, start to help other children, the children of friends and things like that. So this is when we met with Olga, clicked. And since then we really worked together and then in parallel and tried to build the genius network of professionals, because we, like Olga said, we believe that only together we can help in the best possible way to our children who've got very different issues, but they might be manifesting in a similar way. And that's something we're going to discuss. Anyway, now Veronica finished her hospitality management school and ready to go to South Korea to continue her study in music production. I'm very happy about my child, how she's developing. And she's a beautiful young lady, and I'm very confident in her. And this is what we really want as a parents, be confident for our children. So they're really entering this world, they know about how they're functioning, how they can troubleshoot, how they process the stress, how they can manage themselves and communicate their needs to other people. And that's what we would like to, empower you to look at this as well, and we can help you along this process. So
to clarify the question as well, if you have a notebook, write down from today's masterclass and into future, what would you like to resolve? What would you like find help for your child? What specifically you think that if would happen, or like a wish that you think that would really improve your child's well-being and chances in life and make them feel happier, more settled, and accustomed to this lifestyle?